6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And booster ignition, liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery.
Something quick. Okay, what we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them.
There's something they're not telling us, and we're here to tell you because we know everything. Welcome back to Classic Lounge Podcast.
Yes!
I'm here with Messiah.
Yo.
Rebel's here too.
I'm here too.
We're doing some deep dives on some wild conspiracies that may be true. What do you got for us, man? Something going down in the ice, beneath the ice, right?
I teased it a little bit on the last episode. I've been like kind of hardcore researching this specific topic. Have you guys ever heard of Operation High Jump?
Never.
Now I have, but I haven't deep dive into it.
So basic, and then we'll kind of get into it. Basic Operation High Jump was the United States government's attempt to control more land outside their border, and they targeted Antarctica.
Wow. When was this?
1946.
Okay, so it was like, okay, gotcha.
So like right after World War II ended?
Yeah.
I don't know how to jump into this without just sounding crazy off the rip, okay?
Just get crazy, dude. That's what we're here
that's
for.
That's what the episode's
that's
about.
What the people are clicking on this video for.
All right, we're going back. December 1938, okay?
Okay.
Nazi Germany's in full control, okay? Adolf
Here
Hitler.
it goes.
Adolf Hitler knows that he can't do what he wants to do. Adolf Hitler's sole purpose is to control the universe. He wanted to be the most powerful being known to man, right?
Right. Yep.
But he knew he couldn't do that just being a morbid human, right? So Hitler, in 1938, formed a group of people to go out and find some ancient relics.
Indiana Jones, dude.
Yeah, okay, this group had scientists in it, leading Nazi scientists, military experts, a full-on construction crew, key members of the Thule Society, or Thule, I believe it's pronounced.
What? Cthulhu?
There's a thing, no, it's Thule.
Basically the same thing.
Thule.
Patchouli?
They were very well known at the time and were associated with the Nazi Party. And they were focused mainly on the occult, magic, and shit like that,
dude.
And Hitler had an obsession. You could look a lot of this up about Hitler and his obsession on like magic and shit. But anyways, he heard from these people that there was a pure Aryan race that came from Antarctica. That's where they ended up like going to, right? And they claimed that they could talk to like all these extraterrestrial beings, right? The society.
So the Aryan race was not from this planet, they believed?
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
So anyways, so Hitler and the Nazis get that group. They send people December 1938, 100% documented they go. They headquarter on Antarctica in a place called Base 211. On the map now, it's like New Schwabenland, and New Schwabe, I think is the pronunciation of it. But
great name, by the way.
New Schwabenland.
It sounds like an ice cream parlor.
It does.
Like I would go there, dude. It'd be great.
So anyways, when they get there, they start exploring. They realize there's a bunch of these small cities all spread out like underground in these caverns and shit, like hollowed out, right?
Whoa. In the ice?
In the ice. And the story goes they apparently found these ancient cities with all this technology that was like advanced technology. And if you get like really weird about it, the German engineering has always been way ahead of its like curve, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But so once they got word that they found all these cities, they were like, holy shit, we have access to all this. And the Nazis sent more people, right? And then, like, most of them fled. Okay. Now I'm going to fast forward to 1946. Okay. U.S. World War II ends. We drop all the bombs. We win the war. Nazis are gone. Correct?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
So President Eisenhower.
Whatever they say, really, dude. Let's be real.
President Eisenhower at the time, big UFO guy, for the record. He sent a guy by the name Admiral Richard Byrd. Okay. This guy was a U.S. naval officer, avid explorer. He was the first pilot in the history to fly over both the North Pole and the South Pole. Right? So World War II ends. Eisenhower gets him and says, dude, I need you to go fucking form a group and get ready to bang down in Antarctica, bro.
We fucking in Antarctica.
we think that we heard that the Nazis went out there. We don't know what's going on. Yada, yada. So they went out 1946, 13 ships, 23 airplanes, over 4,300 soldiers down to Antarctica, right?
Damn.
And they said their goal was to look for other military bases and like establish control, right? So they go down there. According to what the records show, we went down there, we trained, and we came home. We didn't find anything. But years and years later, this Richard Byrd, his son finds his journal, right? Years and years and years later. And in this journal, he tells the most bizarre story about what he saw while he was in Antarctica, right? He said, okay, that I'm going to put this together, that he went down and he met Nazi aliens.
What?
Well, hold on. What do you mean aliens?
How can aliens be Nazis?
So,
what do you mean? Hold on.
So when the Nazis went down there in 1938, right? Supposedly they met with these like higher beings and worked out a deal to like work together. So that all these like UFO intelligent alien guys are all Nazis, right?
Okay.
Stay with me here, right?
How did they work out a deal? How did they speak the same language?
We'll answer those questions after I get through this, okay? So in this diary, mind you, found years later, right? Byrd describes how he knew that there was this entrance to inner Earth. He like could see it, right? So he flew down around the Earth, right? Imagine Earth's like a globe. He flew underneath the Earth and then up and in, right? And when he did that, he saw like a lush green forest. Like it went from snow and like rock, and ice to like a lush green area. And as he's flying in this caravan, all of a sudden he sees shimmering lights from the corner. It's an emerald city within this lush green thing. All of a sudden his plane, he can't control it anymore. He looks to his left, looks to his right. 2 UFOs are following him, right? Take control of his plane, force him to the ground. Okay, he goes down there, and this is all written in his journal, right? He said that he met a guy by what everybody called is just the master, and pretty much the master is saying like humans are like blowing it on the surface of the earth, and there's a lot of other people that live on like middle earth or like inner earth, and like all the schmucks at the top, you guys better stop it. And he wrote in there that they knew about the bombs in like Hiroshima and Nagasaki and all that, so they knew all this, right? And so you're probably thinking, what the fuck? But here's what it gets a little bit weird, right? People believe this journal because, one, why would he make that up? Number two, because he was a naval officer, pilot. He's been flying, all his life. And 2, this is before like the modern UFO era.
Right.
Oh, that's weird.
Like it's not like everybody's like, oh yeah, UFOs everywhere. Like this guy just wrote about it in his journal, right?
It would be like super taboo for somebody to write that shit.
True.
It wouldn't just be like science fiction, like fan. It would probably be like, what the fuck?
People
True.
weren't thinking about aliens back then. They're thinking about Nazis.
You're
not
wrong.
Nazi aliens.
Shit.
So what supposedly happened is he met with them, and because Eisenhower knew about what was going on, he wanted to make a deal with the Nazis, the Nazi stuff. Apparently the Nazis were abducting like soldiers, and they were really like fucking with the US military, right? So when Byrd came back with all this information, right, they told him don't say anything, blah blah blah, all the normal stuff you would think. But apparently Eisenhower went down. It's rumored with I don't even know the guy's name, but I don't even want to say it because it could be like slander. But a prominent guy in the EU, he's on like the master of coin essentially. It's believed that his dad was a Nazi soldier. Anyways, I forget the guy's name. He went down with President Eisenhower to Antarctica to meet with these like Nazi aliens, right? And they were like, dude, you can't just like fucking just destroy the world. Like there's got to be some like merit. There's got to be rules, guidelines, right? So Eisenhower signed a deal with the Nazi aliens that they can only capture certain people, and it had to be isolated in our national forests.
Oh, shit.
What?
So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a thing called Missing 411.
Yes.
All these people that go missing in national forests, bro,
are getting captured by
Nazi aliens.
It's making sense.
And I read a little bit more, and I don't have all the details on this, but if you look up a lot of the backgrounds of these people, a lot of them have like some sort of like German background.
Whoa. Okay. So these Nazi aliens live in Antarctica. Are they living under the ice?
Earth.
Yeah, so they're under the crust of the earth.
Essentially, yes.
So they're in the mantle, which should be liquid.
Well,
are they under the crust or are they in the crust?
I feel like
I've
it's in
never
the crust.
been. I'm not exactly sure. Never been to inner Earth, but I'm assuming they figured something out.
I feel like it's. I feel like it's inside the crust, but just like super, super deep.
Maybe there's the layers like normally, but in that entrance spot, they figured out a way to like hollow it out completely. It's like a big like force field, or like
a city.
The lava can't get in. They describe that like even in like the Nazis, like when they said that they found these underground cities, like they said that they went down and it was like went down miles. Like the city wasn't like big, like wide. It was like long.
Long cities, dude. That's what we need to start inventing.
That is great. So whatever happened to them? Are they still thriving, just capturing people in forests?
Yep, thriving, doing experiments.
Still carrying on the Nazi agenda, I'm assuming?
I would assume, but what I heard is that the Nazis, like the ancient people that when they got down there, when they went to make the deal, the ancient people were like, yo, like, you guys are fucking crazy too, kind of thing.
Yeah, we are.
But we'll join you anyway.
But they had to join them for some purpose,
Why didn't they help the Nazis in their fight?
Because it was after they lost. Because
the
U.S. dropped the bombs and Germany didn't have bombs like that.
I gotcha. So this is after Hitler was assassinated.
So the aliens
Quote, unquote,
didn't like that we were dropping nuclear bombs. They're like, yo, you're going to destroy the planet and then we're all going to be fucked.
Yeah.
So they worked out a deal with the Nazis to be like, all right, you guys can come over here and be safe. Supposedly Hitler like went with them. I don't know.
This is making a lot of sense.
That's getting like way down the rabbit hole. But like the basis is Nazis went down there, Americans went down there years later. It's all the same thing in this dude's journal. Eisenhower struck a deal connected with the missing people 411.
So this is making a lot of sense why there's been reports about like nuclear like missiles, like sites like that, with UFOs coming over and just disabling them.
Nuclears.
Yep.
Yes.
They're like hidden. No one knows about them. And then a UFO will come over and disable it. And then they'll dip out.
That's awesome, dude. Hopefully they do that pretty soon.
Dude, it's
Crazy.
a fucking thing.
Yeah, Nazi aliens was definitely I wasn't prepared, man.
You're welcome.
I don't think anyone's prepared for that.
I had to put on the tinfoil hat for that one, boys.
Okay, so for my story, we have something that's a little bit more tangible because it's documented experience and experiments that.
What's not tangible about Nazi aliens,
Yeah,
bro?
dude.
Emerald City
Non-believer.
inside the mantle of the earth.
Non-believer.
So have you guys heard of a little experiment called the double slit experiment? And I know what you're thinking. No, it is not lesbian porn. It's called the double slit experiment. It was It was made by my boy Thomas Young. He's I like to call him, Tom. So what he did was this is way back in the day too. I don't know the exact year, but it's way back in the day. And what he was trying to see was how light worked, pretty much, because we're young. We don't know fucking things at all. So he's looking at a wall and he's like, you know what? Let's put a slit in this. Let's imagine a hole going in this wall. And he's like, what's going to happen when we shine a light through it? And what happens is there's a strip on the other side, similar to imagine if you're looking out at a window and there's blinds in the window. Yeah. You get that little ray that always hits you perfectly in the eye. And you're like, God damn it, this sucks. That's what happened. It shined a light right through, similar to a line, as one would think. So he's like, all right, that's cool. What happens if we put two slits in the wall? And this is where things start getting fucked up, all right? Because imagine you put two slits in there. What do you think's going to happen?
Two lines.
Yeah. That's what would make sense. That didn't fucking happen. Okay. Two lines did not happen. He got multiple lines going on. At least 6, 8 of them. And he's like, what the hell is happening with this? This isn't making sense.
It's too many damn lines.
There's too many lines on my goddamn wall.
I'm tired, Grandpa.
It's too damn bad. But so he's sitting there why the hell isn't this happening? Why are there so many lines on here? Now, to have this make sense, let's step back a little bit. Now imagine you have that one slit wall, but we're in a pool and we're not shining light at it. If you make a wave and it hits that wall, there's going to be a little bit of a wave that comes out through that slit and it's going to spread out like a cone, if you will. It hits it and it's all right, we're spreading out. We're going to be a cone. Now, if we have two on there, it's going to interfere. It's going to bump into the other one. It's going to make little intersecting wave points. And it's just going to line up on the wall. And there's going to be multiple, where they intersect is where the lines are going to show up on the wall. And that's exactly what happened when he would shine two lights through. This was the experiment that proved that light was not just a little particle. It was also in waves. And this kind of changed physics as it is. Now stay with me here. A bunch of people were like, yo, I don't know if I like that answer. I don't like them being able to be two things at once. And they were like, you know what? Fuck this. We're going to make our own experiment trying to disprove this. So they were like, hey, what if these particles are just bumping into each other and making these points? That could be a thing. So they set up the same two slit wall, did all this shit, but they're like, you know what? We're going to fire these electrons individually at them instead of everything all at once. And when they did that, the weirdest fucking thing happened. Something that shouldn't have happened. Where the same pattern, the interference pattern, showed up, multiple lines. And they're like, this isn't possible because if you're shooting one single thing, basically what happened was that they're like, it split itself apart, went through both holes, bounced off of each other on the other side and showed up on multiple lines. Are you guys staying along with me on this one?
Dude, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about, dude.
All
I'm
right,
trying.
all
I need
right.
like a visual or something.
All right, go to Discord. You got visuals. It shouldn't have bounced off of each other. And so they're like, why the fuck is this happening? This doesn't make sense. So they're like, this is what we're going to do. They're like trying to get really down to the bottom of it. They literally set up like observation cameras, something like actual read what slit the particle is going through. And when they did that, it stopped acting like a wave. It became a particle and showed up as two lines at the end of it. So what they came and like concluded was when you observe these things, like these particles, these electrons going through, it changes the physics of the actual particle.
But when it's not observed,
when it's not observed, it becomes like it acts like a wave. But when you observe it, it changes the way it behaves physically. No,
how does it know it's being observed?
That's what no one understands.
What the fuck,
no one
dude?
understands. Like just us looking at something changes the way it behaves physically. And so I want you guys to understand this is kind of similar to something that we're kind of, used to and all that stuff. Have you guys heard of a game engine? Just any game engine ever,
Yes.
So it's very similar to a game engine where it's not powerful enough, like a computer's not powerful enough to calculate every particle inside the engine to where it uses a simplified model to like act and like do stuff. But like when you observe it like in depth, that's when it actually calculates for that individual particle. And so it's very similar to that. Thus, meaning that we're potentially in a computer model. It's the same situation going on. It's the same situation, my guys.
It's definitely strange, but I have no explanation. I don't even know, dude.
I know.
I don't even understand. I don't know if I fully comprehend the initial thing.
I know it's a lot. Listen, I have visuals set up on the actual video.
You have to put the visuals up.
Oh, I will. If you're a listener, go watch the video. Trust me, it'll make somewhat sense.
The visuals make it a lot more. Yeah, I understand it with the visuals, but what blows my mind is how can the behavior change? If it how does it know it's being observed, dude?
I know. I fucking know. I don't understand either.
It's alive.
No one's touching it. No one's poking at it. They're like, I'm going to shoot it here.
What is it? What are they? Waves, like microwaves? Like
no, it's an electron.
Waves?
So
electrons.
Electron is a particle as well as a wave. They behave the same way.
Yeah, I haven't seen like an electron with my eyes before, so I can't.
You can't. It's so small.
I don't know. I've never been.
It's a part of an atom. That's what it is. Yeah, it's just a part of an atom.
My question is, have they tested it with like other different types of like slits and like placement of slits and shit?
I would assume so, but it only takes two.
Dude, maybe it's like a mirror and it's like the way you're looking at it. It's like maybe the way we're looking at that's like completely wrong.
Possibly, but But it's like, if we're looking at it wrong, why is it giving us two different results just by setting up a camera?
Maybe there's something to do with the camera.
That's the whole point.
Electrons and shit with a camera. This sounds like a magnet.
It's a fucking magnet, dude.
Magnets, how do they work?
We pretty much answer it. We're not in a computer. We're just really good at magnets. That's what it is.
All right. Speaking of ice earlier, in 1996, Walt Disney passes away from lung cancer. It's no secret that there's a rumor that he was what?
Was he a smoker?
I don't know. It was
I'm
like
assuming.
Like back in that day, everybody smokes.
Smokers, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like people don't get
school.
lung cancer if they aren't a smoker.
I don't know about that one. However, it's no secret that there's rumors that Walt Disney was frozen after he died. So a reporter breaks into the hospital after he dies. He allegedly finds Walt Disney's body hanging up on some sort of elaborate rack, frozen solid in a metal canister. He goes on to report his wild claims, but nobody believes him, except like some news companies around the world start reporting on his claims as fact, which sparked the rumor we all have heard today. But there's shit to back this rumor up. So the same year Walt Disney died, another person from the same city Walt Disney is from was the first ever person to be cryogenically frozen. This is real. I don't have the guy's name, but this really happened. It was a different guy, though. Also, months leading up to Walt Disney's death, he called this place. It's the same place that froze the first dude. This place was called, hold on, I have it right here, the Cryonic Society of California. He called them many, many times in the months leading up to his death, asking about how to be frozen.
Okay, that kind of makes sense now.
Yeah.
Like that puts some sort of proof to this theory.
So these are real calls, and that dude really got frozen. But here's the real kicker. So throughout the years since then, since his passing in 96, that's all you could, like, you could search for that Walt Disney frozen, right?
No, my God.
The conspiracy is
movie, bro.
that Disney created the movie Frozen.
Oh shit.
Just to hack the Google algorithm. So when you search Disney Frozen, it comes up with the movie. You could search any iteration of Disney Frozen and it will just come back the movie.
Shit.
Which
great movie though.
Which goes in with the theory that Walt Disney really did get cryogenically frozen and the company is trying to cover the tracks.
He also funded the Nazis.
Yeah, I don't think he was a very good guy.
So I like to think he got frozen and sent to the Emerald City.
Dude, it's all connected.
It's all connected, dude. We're in a simulation, dude.
They froze him, shipped him off, and slapped a swastika on his arm.
Yep. I'm sure he's had worse.
Now he works there as like a mail guy or something.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the male people.
Shout out to the underground Nazi society.
Don't shout them out.
Don't shout that out. My bad. That sounded crazy.
Clip it out of context.
Anyways, one thing I will say, you think about like with is it true that like when they send people to space, they can they put them to sleep for like 6 months, right?
I don't know if that's real. That might be science fiction. Yeah, okay. I don't know if that's real.
Oh no, I'm thinking of they were on a plane or a spaceship and they were going up and they were all supposed to sleep, but like his thing didn't close all the way. So for 6 months, him and I think it's a monkey. It
wasn't Disney Channel. It was called Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. Yeah.
It's such a good movie. About? Yes, it's such a good movie, dude.
And they're walking, he farts and it goes through their connected air tube. Good times. That was a good movie. I don't know why I thought that was real in my head.
That's in a lot of movies. There's a lot of movies like that. There's a recent movie with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence called Passengers.
They had a whole lifetime. Oh, no. By the way, spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, he pretty much woke up and had a whole life on a ship.
Yeah, he woke up so early on their trip to wherever that he realized that he's never going to live to see the arrival. He's going to spend his entire life on the spaceship.
It was 100 years to get to that planet.
Yeah, so he was supposed
to be in this thing that would allow him.
Yeah, put him to sleep and allow him to make the trip there without aging. So he purposely woke up another person to spend. He pretty much killed somebody, but in order to
have company,
and it was Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, pretty good movie.
That sounds like a similar plot of my favorite movie, Idiocracy.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, dude.
All right, I got homework for all the listeners and viewers. Go watch Idiocracy and tell us how it is.
Thank you for joining us on this conspiracy episode. Plastic Lounge podcast. We have all the answers here. There's not anything we don't know. If you're looking for any more answers, hit us up on YouTube down in the comment section, or on Twitter, or on Instagram, or live on Twitch. We all stream on Twitch. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.